Hello, survival gigists. Okay, so here we are. This is freelance work. Ironically, I started doing freelance work before I even sold my restaurant. I was working so much, but I barely had enough money to pay my own bills. So I decided to freelance for other people, selling marketing services. I happen to have a degree in marketing and business. And so I utilize that to get some retainer clients and start doing social media and web design and all of that sort of stuff. So this is a great opportunity. I've been doing it probably the longest of anything else. It's super flexible. This was great for me because sometimes I was going to my business where I would be working from like 5 or 6 in the morning until 7 or 8 at night. And then I would be able to stay up till midnight doing this kind of a gig on top of it, making some extra cash. I mean, sometimes when you're following your dreams, you're not making the money in your dream, but it's taking all your time. And so you have to use this other piece of time to make cash. And this allowed me to do that. And freelancing made me really good money. I had people on $1,000 a month retainers, $600 a month retainers, $1,500 a month retainers. So that money was just constant. Granted, sometimes they didn't pay on time, which can be the downfall. But you could do it. Now it says here $100 to $10,000. I think that's really reasonable. If you work your pipeline and you work some of these opportunities, you can easily make 10,000. Now, I had a business model where I could make 20,000 doing marketing a month, and it was not that hard. So just know that that's out there too. You've got to be a natural born salesperson, or I guess salespeople aren't born, they're made. So you can be a natural made salesperson and go out and get that done. But you can make way more. If this is your jam and you just want to be a freelancer and you want to work your way over to being a freelancer 100% of the time, I would say go teach English and then start your freelance business and start working your pipelines, because you'll get there within 3 to 6 months and you'll be making $10,000 to $15,000 easy. But you want to do something that's really consistent or steady, or get the gig. You work this to get the gigs and then leave your full-time job. Okay. 1 to 40 to 60 hours a week. Like I said, sometimes, unfortunately, when you're freelancing, you might work 60 hours a week, and that's just life. You're your own business boss. You're your own boss. That's all of these gigs, right? The investment, maybe a couple $100. I mean, as long as you have a computer, you're going to be pretty good. You're still going to need to do some things here that are going to set you apart, and that is going to cost you a couple $100. What's the skinny? Freelance work is great. You can get both one-time projects as well as ongoing retainer projects, which are spectacular. Sometimes it takes clients 30 to 60 days to pay you. That is the downfall. Unlike some of these other opportunities where you're getting money constantly or right ahead of time, or sometimes I had clients as long as 90 days out. I've also been stiffed. I was stiffed by someone. I built their website. They stiffed me for $1,500. So just know you can get stiffed also, and that's the game, and that's just what happens. Put contracts in place. Make sure that you can get them online, super easy, for free, and get a template and print one out. A services contract, really easy. So just make sure you have a contract in place. At least have an email thread of how much you're going to charge, and so on and so forth. Especially if you find them on Craigslist or Indeed or one of those, or LinkedIn. If you find people there, make sure, or if they're your friend, which often happens when you start this kind of a gig, you might have some friends in the mix that are your clients too, and that people take advantage. Trust me on that. So just know that that's a possibility here. Who, what, where, when, why? How much can I make? It's pretty standard to make at least a $500 a month retainer if you're working for someone, as much as $2,500 retainer probably, especially if you're doing marketing services. You should probably set up a company and freelance in your knowledge base. So that could be, you're a bartender and you know how to train bartenders better than everyone else. You can set up a freelance job going around training bartenders. training people in customer service. You can do marketing services. You can do writing services. You can do, anything. You could do grant writing. Specifically, there are a bazillion jobs for grant writers on Upwork. Anything you think about that you want to do, you go do it. Accountants. A ton of people are looking for bookkeepers and accountants right on Upwork. It's a great freelance gig to get off of Upwork. And that's, you're not going to have to go out and pound the pavement. You're going to just apply for gigs on Upwork. Now, if you don't have any experience doing this, you may need to take a lower end gig to start, and that's okay. Like, I think my first retainer person was $500 a month. I did their social media. I maintained their website. It was great. I love them. They were great clients, but I had to move them up and up, and eventually I outgrew them and they outgrew me, and great friends still, but remember, when you start down here, sometimes it's hard to get people to make the leap, to jump up to where you become, because you're going to become an expert. And so after a year or two with someone, what was $500 is going to now have to be $1,000 a month retainer, because you're a specialist and you need to charge more money for your time. You need to be making $50 to $100 an hour no matter what. So just realize that will happen too, how much you make. Time is money. This will take up a lot of your time. It's just like a full-time job, but you are your own boss, and that's the joy of it. It's flexible. You get to go do what you want to go do. You'll go make this happen for yourself. So you can kind of set appointments around your schedule. I got to take Lily to and from school all the time. Only meet with my folks when I needed to. I was doing marketing, retaining, and I had, I think 13 clients when I went and did Polar Express in New York City. So here I was acting in New York City, having fun for 2 months, but yet I still had all these marketing clients that I was being able to do right from there. I would just do it on the on the train before I was getting to the gig, on the bus, while I was walking. I would sit there at night after I got home, after I was done acting, and do the posts and stuff. So, you could literally do this from anywhere. And that was great, because every one of those was between $500 and like $1,400 a month in client fees. And so you're making good money while you're enjoying your life and living your dream. I was acting and living in New York City. Who doesn't want to do that for a couple months? So it was fun and awesome. Be aware that sometimes you're going to need some downtime, and you're going to need to build that in. You could work constantly on this. And if you start to work too much on a client, you need to rein that in a little bit. Selection process. Experience. This is critical. You have to create a resume. You should have a portfolio if applicable. You need to create profiles for every one of the freelance opportunities that are out there. If it's Upwork or, freelancer.com or Thumbtack or wherever you're going to put those, all obviously, like all the other modules, those are at the end. So you just need to know, you got to create all those profiles. You've got to have cover letters that you can copy paste. You need to have your own website. That really helps. Go on to GoDaddy. They have great great templates. If you're not brilliant at marketing, GoDaddy, Wix, one of those, Squarespace, they all have templates that you can use. Go find your name at .com, put it together, make it be a calling card, because when you apply on Upwork, you can put that link to your website and people will go there, and that will help them choose you. You should have business cards. It is amazing. I was just in China. I do some consulting, helping people get ready for interviews now. It's one of the big things that I do. And I was at a food tasting experience with another person, and they wanted to hire me to help consult their clients for interviewing. and they have a company in China where they do a specific kind of work, and I needed to have I had a business card. I was able to give them a business card, and I have a legitimate website, so they immediately went on and did that, and I did my first client the next week with them. So you never know when the opportunity is coming. Have that business card handy. Okay. Basically, you are your own business. Sell yourself, sell yourself, sell yourself. The best way to start freelancing, if you know someone who knows someone or knows someone who of your friends who might want to buy your services, like for instance, I pitched my marketing services to a Remax agency. I knew the owners of the Remax. They were wonderful, great friends, amazing humans. I went in and sat with them. I pitched them. They bought my services. I immediately had my first client. That success propelled all the rest because I knew I could do it. That one hurdle is all you need to overcome. So just go do it. Take the leap of faith that you can do it because you can. Workspace. Create a space that's very functional for you. Know what you need. I need to go to a coffee shop. Randomly, I have to go to coffee shop. So even when I'm traveling in Bali, for instance, I picked a location that was right around the street from a coffee shop so I could go work there. Know where you need to work and how you need to do it. Critical. You have to keep a calendar. This kind of work is so important that you keep a calendar and maintain your schedule a lot. So do that because it's important to your clients, to you. You don't have room for failing, so you don't want to fail. So make sure to keep your calendar. Your clients are going to review you. Upwork is really important. It's deadline driven. It's you've got to meet all those deadlines. They're going to review you, and you never want to have a bad review. Okay, the must-haves: website, profiles, web cards, business cards, stock sales materials that you can copy paste into your proposals, cover letters and resumes. You need to have all that stuff, and then I would probably have a little list of references. Occasionally, not often, which is surprising to me, but occasionally someone asks me for references, and you want to have those to send them on. Here we go. Upwork, Thumbtack, Fiverr, Freelancer, Career Builder, Craigslist. All of these are awesome places to get freelance work. As of more recently, you can get some work, I think, on LinkedIn, which is not on this list, but you can get work there. LinkedIn, and then you can get work on, I would say, Indeed as well. So Upwork, simple. All you need to do is set up a profile. Once you have a profile, you can go in and start applying for work. Really easy. So if this is your jam, that's step number one for you. Then I would go to Freelancer, and then I would probably go check out Craigslist for gigs. Under gigs, they have this kind of work a lot. And then you can check in your specialized area. A little less likely. Those are usually jobs. So just know that that's usually someone hiring full time. But under gigs, sometimes they'll have this kind of freelancer type work. There is a section for gigs right there. So just know. Helpful things. Have your marketing material before you even start this process. I would have it ready to go. Have a clear idea of what services you're going to sell. Because you need to know that, and then what is required in that field. You might need software. You might need training in software. Like there are some things that you might need to know. If you're going to sell marketing services, you need to know how to build websites. You need to know how to do Canva. Canva is everything, like you can do presentations, you can do websites, you can do logos, you can do marketing posts, you can do brochures, everything. So you might want to learn some of these software systems where you can jump in and work. Just a few more things. You might want to really be ready to apply for a lot of things. This is a numbers game. Remember, there are 100 other people applying for the same gig you are. So make yourself stand out. Make sure everyone else, people want you. And that's elegantly written cover letter, nice resume, beautiful portfolio, marketing clients that people have heard of. If you're in a small area, like for instance, when I was in Northern Colorado doing that, doing marketing, people knew my clients. So when I was in having a pitch meeting or I was doing something, I was able to pitch so easily what I was doing to somebody. Or even on Upwork, when I did some work on there, I could send them to the social media, the website, so they could see my work and knew exactly what they were going to get from me. That's critical. And you need to build your base and get feedback from people immediately. Am I charging enough? Know your marketplace. Know what everyone charges in your marketplace. That's critical because you don't want to overcharge, but you also don't want to undercharge. People believe that things are for free or cheap are not worth it. So don't forget that. You have to charge what you're worth. Okay, that's pretty much freelancing. Yes, go out and do it. Okay, don't forget. Build your own dreams or someone else is going to hire you to build theirs. Best of luck.